Hello YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Welcome you to the live coverage of Round 18 of 36 here for the Outlaws Sim Series season in the virtual Fontana, California, where we continue to run to the playoffs with 9 races remaining in the regular season. And as we wrap up the first half of the inaugural Outlaws Sim Series season, we return to the track that started it all this season with hosting the first race with a 2.8 mile road course where Tyler Markle would go on to win the race. He's not won a race since, and looking to reclaim some of that glory here that he did take that win 17 rounds ago. The track, formerly known as California Speedway, picked up the Auto Club of Southern California sponsorship in 2008, and the track played host to IndyCar, sports cars, IROC, AMA Superbikes, and a NASCAR Truck Series. And now, the track only has a NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series, if even that. Looking at 2021, that's not looking too promising. But both of that, all of that, took place here at this facility. The NASCAR Cup and Xfinity Series, they take place at the 2-mile D-shaped oval. And well, I do want to let Jacob, who's normally up here in the booth with me most weeks, he's not going to be up here tonight, but I'm going to let him show us a way around this Auto Club Speedway. He's going to take us on a little track guide.
Alright, this is a lap around the Auto Club Speedway. Once you get into turn 1 here, you're going to want to arc it into the corner, slowly letting off the gas. In the middle or 2, you're going to want to slowly get back onto it. Onto the gas, using the wall to your advantage here down the back stretch. Just keep it going, pedal to the metal here. Into turn 3, it's going to be the same thing you did in 1 and 2. You're going to want to let off the gas, arc it into the corner, get to the bottom line, keep arcing, turning slowly back onto the throttle. In the middle of 3 out of 4, you're going to want to push it down, push the pedal down, go to the top. Might want to run the bottom though. Top lane definitely on the front stretch is something you don't want to use, and that is a lap around the Auto Club Speedway.
And that it is. And of course, today we do the final 30 minutes of practice. We broadcast those final 30 minutes of practice in the name of a charity each week. This week, we're doing this in the name of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Of course, you can donate to this charity through the donation button on our Facebook page. We'll have posts related to today's race, and under those posts, they'll have the donation button that goes straight between you, Facebook, and the charity to give that legitimacy. We truly do want these charities to be recognized and to get the help and support that they need to continue to do the great things that they are doing. Of course, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, pretty self-explanatory in the name, has directly helped a couple of the drivers in this series, and I hope that being said would encourage you a little bit more to be in the giving mood, especially with it being the holiday season. And that being said, the holiday season, we took last week off, but the week prior we wrapped up the well, we didn't wrap up, but we did 200 laps at the Kansas Speedway, and well, that was something. That was quite the domination from the 77 of Seth Berger, and that looks like it's going to be tough if he's going to make it tonight. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what we can get anyway. I do want to talk, actually, before we get into practice a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the playoff standings coming into today's race. And, of course, you see there at the top, Malenko, Seth Berger. They are now tied up at the top of the playoff standings. 3 wins apiece for the both of them. Max Service now falls to the 3rd seed, right over Joseph Kossi and Adrian Schumacher. And actually found out they got one more start to their number. So they have to make 19 starts this season. And right now they are at 12 apiece for Schumacher and Kossi. So they are currently on track to do that, but yeah, they got to keep on it. We have McLoone in the 6th seed over Tyler Markle, Andrew Pratt, and Garrett Velzy. Those drivers, of course, with a win already on the season. And then here's what I really want to get into. these drivers here that are not locked in on points yet, they're here around the cutoff. We have Jeremiah Stutzman. Of course, he's 10th. He's the highest driver in points without a win. Right now, Jeremiah Stutzman is 131 points above the cut line. He's looking very, very solid. Almost a 3-race advantage over the cut line. However, nothing is ever certain in racing until he can get, if he can maintain that gap with about 3 races to go, or he can build his gap to even more. Maybe with 4 races left in the regular season, he can lock himself in on points. Only then will that be certified. But then we're also looking at the rest of the slots, and of course, he could be knocked out if we get 13 different winners that have made, of course, the eligible amount of starts. Reese Schaefer has won this season. Oh, there's a crash in the background of the playoff standings. Reese Schaefer has won a race this season, but he is not eligible based on the number of starts he has made this season. He will not make the 19 required starts to be eligible for the playoffs. But we're on back to the drivers that matter in the playoff fight. We have Devin Smith, who's 46 above the cut line. Kyle Lingerfeld, 27. And it gets really tight with James Gilliard. He's only 4 up over Miz. St. Cour 6 back from James Gilliard. And Kevin Thompson is 9 back. And I think with that being said, I think it's imperative we get words in with some of these drivers that are on that cutoff. And let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get a word in with driver of the number 12, Mr. Andrew St. Cour. Andrew, you got a copy?
Got a copy, Emerson.
Right on. So you're coming into today. I don't know if you've really been keeping tabs on it, but you're coming into today 6 points behind the cutoff. And yeah, Auto Club's a pretty wide track. What do you think you can do in regards to yourself here at Auto Club, and then in that fight for those playoff spots?
Well, I don't have a lot of track time here, so trying to put in a long run here just to see what the tires do. I guess the big thing is just taking care of them. And it's really tight from what I what I can see here. I definitely am not going to be qualifying high, I don't think, so I'm going to have to just run conservative, try to be a little more aggressive tonight. I would say that's something that I got to get better at. Being a little more aggressive, especially early on, without chewing things up too much, just to try to get some good track position without getting down too far. And then, at times I make up, or I have too much ground to make up, and I struggle as the race goes on. So I don't want to put myself in that situation tonight, but at the end of the day, there's 3 other guys that we're battling with there, so I have to kind of keeping an eye on where they're at and trying to be competitive with them and hopefully stay ahead of them.
Of course, in regards to that battle, it's so tight. It's all relative to where you are against one another. With that being said, I know you're on a long run now. Is there anything else you can get out of this car that you think, or you're kind of working with what you got, you're just kind of going as it is? Or if you think when you finish up this long run, you can find that extra speed out there?
Yeah, I do, actually. I think I can definitely pick up a couple tenths. I didn't really try too hard, to be honest. I wanted to get in here and try to get a long run in. And like I say, I haven't spent a lot of time on this track, so it was more important to me to get a long run in, see what the car does in the long run, try to play around with the brake bias a little bit, get comfortable that way, practice going on the pit road here a little bit before we're all done and getting off with their speed and sort of thing. Try to keep it clean and not make any unforced errors, but I will definitely try to get a couple hot laps in and try to pick up some time.
Right on. So far, you're coming up to finish up this first half of the season. Seeing where you are in the point standings, is this what you expected? You're a little bit higher, a little bit lower than where you expected, and I guess how would you grade yourself overall through the first 17? And this is round 18, so I guess through the first 17 races.
Didn't really know what to expect. It's my first season on iRacing, let alone my first season ever racing in a league. So it's new to me. Kind of learning as I go. Honestly, I think I missed the first race of the season. I'm not sure how many other races or any races the other guys that I'm kind of competing with have missed. I'm not sure if they missed any. So I kind of look at that and I say, if I had been there the whole time, didn't miss that race, would I be up in the stands a little bit further? I might have, 10, 12 points more sort of thing. But at the end of the day, I got to try to get these races in before the playoffs and really just be focused on finishing. If I can get top 10s, a couple top 10s here before the end of the regular season, I'll be happy. I think that's always the goal for me, is to try to get in the top 10. And that's realistic, I think. There's just been, I guess, really some inexperience on my part over the last few races that have prevented me from doing that. So I do think I do have a little bit more to give, I guess I should say. Hopefully I can do it tonight.
Right. You mentioned there that you do think it is, it's realistic that you expect to get a couple more top 10s this season. As I say, do you do feel that with the stretch races coming up? Of course, we have Darlington, and we saw the Roval out there, and a bunch of short tracks coming up. How do you think you'll be able to step up to the plate and perform with the upcoming 8 races in today as well?
I think I've been eyeing the Roval. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do think that I've can compete top 10 for sure on the road courses. And really, that's just I'm going to put in some practice for sure on that one. And the key for that, I believe, is just really the patience. I find guys they tend to just get a little impatient, try to overdrive things, and make some unforced errors. So for myself, I think that's a track that I should be able to do relatively good on. Will I finish in the top without going a lap down? I highly doubt that. They're always going to get those top couple guys that are going to be faster, finish a lap up on me. That's reality. I get it. But the guys I'm kind of eyeing and competing with right now, I think I definitely can make up some spots there for sure.
Well, right on. You're on the long run. You've been very nice to, talk to us throughout your long run, so we'll let you get back to it. Right now, 18th on the practice charts, but you said you're only in the long run. We'll see what you can get in. If you do get in some hot laps, and we'll see where you end up on the other side of this thing. Best luck to you.
Just got the morning. I got a couple laps of fuel left, so I'll be going in here in a minute. So anyway, thanks, Emerson. I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you again in the coming weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, best luck to you.
Thank you.
Right on, and that was Andrew St. Coeur, one of the drivers who are below the cut line. Now let's talk to a driver in a somewhat opposite position. He's, I wouldn't say safe by any means. There's still a lot of racing to go, but looking pretty stout thus far. Devin Smith up there in the, in the hunt for those final playoff spots. Here, the second highest driver in the standings without a win. 46 points above the cut. 46 points above the cut line. How you're feeling with yourself thus far, 17 races in?
That I'll probably get eliminated in the first round. Okay, I would like to make it at least. I think I definitely have a chance at that. But what's the first 3 races, do we know, in the first round?
Yeah, so we have, I believe, Daytona Oval,
course, right?
Daytona Oval, Martinsville Night, and Atlanta.
Okay, so I'm confident at, well, anything can happen at Daytona, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say I'm confident for Atlanta, because in our
fun test races there.
Yep. I think I finished like second and then first in that. But then again, yeah, that was interesting behind. But yeah, I think I'm going to have some hopefully good tire wear than others, I would like to think. But Martinsville, that could be interesting.
Fair enough. So coming into today, we have 9 races left in the regular season.
Woo.
How do you feel about your 46-point lead heading into tonight? Of course, at Auto Club, we have a road course still to come up and a bunch of short tracks. How are you feeling about that margin?
Ton of unique short tracks at that. But yeah, 40. How many? 46.
Yeah, 46.
I think I should be good. I hope I'm good, unless I like crash out, get crashed out. Let's knock on some wood on that one. But other than that, I think we should be good. I'm starting to get a little more faith in myself, but anything can happen.
Fair enough. Acknowledge the chat real quick. Dan said, hey, bro. Yep, nice to see you, Dan. Hopefully you can come race with us once again soon. And then Landon said, gotta get a word in with the Jacob kid. Yeah, looks like we will get Jacob later in the practice session. All right, back to Devin. Not tonight. You're 17th on the practice boards. This is more of a long run that you've been kind of attacking here. Do you think there's any more speed out there for you to find?
Speed, probably not. Long run wise, that's what I'm doing right now. My fastest lap I've done in this session or in this stint, what, a 2:11. I mean, everybody's like really close. Like, there's a bunch of zeros, there's a bunch of ones.
That's fair. Yep.
Probably a bunch of twos. There's a couple twos, 3 and 4. But, I mean, everybody's
It
like
is tight.
literally, it's very tight. So I think anything can happen. Race wise, it's either gonna be really, really tight, or there's gonna be some incident early that's gonna possibly take out people. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll take all the positions we can get, right?
Fair enough, yeah. And then, that being said, have you gotten any draft practice? You know how it's going to feel in a pack?
Nope. So we're going to find out come lap 1. I think we should be good. The only thing I see problem with right now for me personally is coming out of the pits off of 4 the first maybe 2 laps, because it's tight in on cold tires, but it's very loose off. So you really got to feather the throttle, or at least for me anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Just from the few test laps I've taken, yeah, it is very, very icy, I guess would be the term, I guess, on cold tires. That makes sense. There's no grip in the car until you get the tires warmed up.
Like a giant frickin' boat.
And then that being said, just once again back to the overall season, is yourself being 11th in points, or I guess 11th in the playoff standings? You're a little bit higher when it comes to points. Is that what you expected? 17 races in, did you expect to be higher, lower? I guess how would you grade yourself overall?
Usually when I'm in, or not much when I'm in leagues, but usually I try to gauge myself, try to be at least a top 10 driver, hopefully. But usually when it comes to this, like NASCAR and whatnot, I'm usually more on the conservative side. But considering how the test races went and whatnot, I definitely raised the bar for myself. So right now I'm definitely disappointed in myself. But I think we can get better.
I like the optimism. Hoping that you do, because the more the merrier when it comes to the title fight and to the midfield as well. I'm speaking more of F1 terms. But,
yeah.
But just in general, the more the merrier, the further up the grid. And, yeah, of course, you know.
Tighter the racing, the better the race.
With 9 races left in the regular season, 46-point advantage. Looking okay for now. And, yeah, best luck to you tonight here at Auto Club. Hopefully we'll talk to you on the other side. You never know what can happen in racing. And, yeah, best luck to you.
No during races, no during race interviews, because every time you do, as soon as I go back at it, I end up getting wrecked or wrecking. So, no.
Man.
Not allowed.
I have the worst.
You really do.
I
do. So it's
so many drivers have said that. Oh, man.
No, go ahead. I don't care. Stuff happens. It's what it is.
Fair enough. But again, once again, thank you for taking time to talk to us. And yeah, it's been a nice little run you got going on here.
Thank you.
Right on. Hopefully we're talking to you on your side. Best luck to you.
Hope so. See ya.
And that was driver of the number 95, Mr. Devin Smith. And Landon has asked, I originally planned on him being up here as well, just because he's at least traditionally going to be the co-commentator up here moving forward for a bit. But Jacob Zolla right now set 6th on the practice boards. Jacob, how's it feeling?
Feeling pretty good, actually. I love this track. Auto Club is my favorite track, and I'm glad that I can sub for my teammate tonight. Or, well, old teammate.
Yeah, he actually just tuned in on the stream and asked if we can get a word with you. That was already in the plan, so good on that. But
yeah, well, there we go.
So you're 6th on the charts right now. Do you think this is sustainable? Do you think this is pace you can hold on long run, or is this more of a hot lap pace?
This is definitely more of a hot lap pace. Tires are gonna wear quick, especially with it being Auto Club and 2-mile track, 2-mile D-shaped oval. So it's gonna be more about tire wear, and definitely in the later run you're gonna see people using the brakes, and it's just about finding the right brake bias for me and what I'm capable with and keeping up in the pack.
So I know tonight's more just for fun, especially because I know you're subbing for Landon. That's physically what you're doing, but it's not going to affect his points. And even if it did, neither of you are really eligible for the playoffs. So this is more just to fill out a spot. But what's a realistic goal for you tonight?
A realistic goal would honestly be a win, but if not, then I would say top 5 would be, especially liking Auto Club a lot, a top 5 would be sustainable. And if I can't get that, then top 10, I guess.
All right, well,
really
I love the optimism. From the track guide, so people obviously they saw the track guide. Have you changed anything up? Is there any more insight you can give to how you run the track from the track guide to now?
So from the track guide, I definitely, I guess I use more of the top coming into 3. I use more of the top lane to go down to the bottom. I don't think I did a lot. I don't know if I did that in the track map. I can't remember. But it's and then definitely I use more on the top on the front stretch as well than I did.
Right on. And with it being 110 laps and the 75% fuel load, have you worked out the strategy? How many stops we're expecting tonight?
No, I have no strategy whatsoever. So it's just gonna be I'm gonna I guess pit when the leader pits. That'll be the way I go.
Fair enough. So yeah, just wanted to get a word in with you, especially since you're usually up here in the booth. Landon wanted to get a word in with you, considering you're in his car tonight. And then see any more insight we could have gotten. Is there any more speed in that 8 car tonight that you can maybe move up a couple more spots on the practice charts?
Oh yeah, there's I don't think so. I'm trying to get more speed, and I don't think I can get any more speed out of it, but I'm gonna try and get at least something out of it in these last couple minutes here.
Right. Well, fair enough. We'll let you to it, and best of luck to you tonight.
All right, thank you, and we miss you, Landon.
Yes, we do. And that was Jacob Zolla filling in for Landon Cardullo tonight. He's driving the number 8. He's going to be scored as the 4 car tonight, but he is driving Landon's livery that Landon would have been driving today. Let's see if we can get one more interview in. Hot shot, top of the practice boards. Young hot shot, Max Service. Pretty high up there on the boards, huh? I'd say that's about as high as you can get. How's the car feeling?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's a little sketchy for the first couple laps, but after a while it gets going pretty good and starts to feel really nice like Fontana usually does.
So I know you're a Hendrick fan. I know at the very least, I'm a huge Jimmy fan. This is obviously his home track. He won a lot of races here, especially at the night time. What's the reason for the White Lightning livery? Because I love the White Lightning livery that Jimmy ran. But what's the significance for you, or what made you decide to run it today?
I don't know. I was looking for I saw it on Trading Paints, and I was looking for a spot to run it, but I needed to run it at night, and I didn't even know this race was at night, so I was gonna hold off on it for a few more weeks until we ran at night. And then turns out this is a night race, so I figured we'll go ahead and run it.
Fair enough. So you're obviously atop the practice boards. You're
Not
close.
anymore.
Oh, yeah, that just changed. Greg Holt coming in with the zing. Do you think you can beat that time?
I don't think so. I'm not much of a hot lapper to begin with. I was kind of impressed when I went out there and beat what was Jacob's time at the top of the charts. Obviously, he's fallen down the order a lot more, but I was really impressed with that lap. So I don't think there's much more in the tank. I'm just gonna kind of hope to qualify solid and hopefully have some long run pace tonight.
So we're wrapping up the first half of the season. 2 wins already. How would you grade yourself the first 17 races? The 2 wins, is that what you expected? You expect more, less? Yeah, 17 races, how do you feel?
I mean, in the first 5 races, 4 of which I started, I mean, I'd give myself an A+ in those races, and then after that, it's been a downhill spiral pretty much. I mean, there's been no wins and just kind of a couple podiums, but that's about it. Really, there's been nothing, and then really, really bad last race at Kansas, absolutely terrible there. But I mean, we'll try and get back into a rhythm tonight. I think I can do some solid things here at Fontana. I love this place. I mean, not exactly my ideal setup. It's a little bit tight in the center, but it's still pretty fun.
Fair enough. I guess overall, we have about 9 races left in the regular season, including tonight. Do you see any more wins in that stretch of 9? So how many? Well, how are you feeling about those 9? You know, we have a road course coming up and a bunch of short tracks.
I honestly think maybe here might be a shot. I look at Darlington. I love Darlington. I'll put a lot of practice into there, but I'm not exactly the best at running the wall. But another one I look forward to is Rockingham.
Ooh.
I don't know. Other than that, maybe there's not really a whole lot of shots. I mean, I can probably run pretty good at the short tracks, but I think Malinka's got it covered there. And the Charlotte Roval, if I finish in the top 10, I'll be happy.
Fair enough. What's the game plan for the race?
Keep the right front on it and hopefully don't wreck. And I don't think there's a whole lot of pit strategy to be had here. There's a little too much fuel saving that you'd have to do, but other than that, it's just kind of go out, run hard, but not too hard.
All right, I was going to ask about the strategy next. You think it's pretty straightforward? You don't think there's going to be really any shenanigans going on fuel-wise?
I think so. I think I can do about 34 laps. It's 110. You'd have to save about a little over 10 laps over the course of the runs to make it work, which is a little too much time to give up, especially on a big, fast 2-mile track like Fontana.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, what's the race pace of this 81?
I don't know. We will find out in the race, hopefully. I don't think it's the best, but we'll certainly see how good she is.
Fair enough. Well, love and delivery. You're looking pretty stout near the top of the practice boards, of course, near the top of the playoff standings as well. Hasn't been the story of the season, the entire season, but there's some glimmers of hope up there, and looking fast tonight. So best luck to you tonight, and who knows, hopefully we'll talk to you on the other side.
Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Thank you. And that was driver of number 81, Max Service. And yeah, like he said, he got off to a hot start. He was a young hot shot right out the gate. Out the first 5 races, he won 2 of them, and he didn't start one of them. He was flying, and then I don't know if the competition caught up or he had a bad stretch of tracks, but it has not been his way recently. He's been up there in speed a little bit, but nothing like he was at the beginning of the season. I think it's a lot of people learning what's going on here, but as time is expiring on practice, you'll see Max Service pulling off there on the side. We're getting ready to go into qualifying, of course. Before we do that, make sure you check out our Facebook page, of course. Tonight's charity is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and it would mean the most if you're able to donate to that charity directly or through the donation button on our Facebook page. We're going to post about today's race. They're going to take you directly. It's going to go directly between you, Facebook, and the charity. And, of course, the final 30 minutes of practice are brought to you in recognition of a charity each week. Tonight's charity, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And 2020 has been a rough year. I'm gonna just go out on a limb, and I'm gonna assume that charity could really use the support to maximize all of its resources for all the people that do need it. But speaking of 2020, it's the final race of 2020. Hopefully that does make quite a few people excited about hopefully what's to come in 2021. Don't want to, of course, jump any gun by saying that, but new year should hopefully have a fresh slate, to say the least. But qualifying nonetheless is underway. Adam Gardner rocking off of turn number 2. What kind of a lap time can we see out of Adam Gardner? He will be the first driver to set a lap time. He's going to be followed by Kyle Lingerfelt, so we will watch them closely. But Adam Gardner, as he comes off of turn number 4, you can see he's going to swing to the bottom, to this straight line to front straightaway. Adam Gardner momentarily goes top of the chart. We'll see if Lingerfelt goes second. Malenko right now in third. Actually, Malenko got the first time in, but right now he's halfway down the back straightaway. We'll see if he can make that Xfinity Toyota Supra continue on its way. Max Service has now gone top of the charts. Jacob Zala has gone even higher. Brandon Richardson has gone third quickest. Greg Holt is out there. Let's see what Holt can do. Malenko goes even faster. Greg Holt goes third quickest. Malenko has finished his second lap. He's gone top of the charts. Jacob Zala on his second lap. Adam Gardner has gone top of the charts. Adam Gardner kind of saving what he's got for the rest of the company. We'll see Jacob Zala as he comes through 3 and 4. Does he have anything for Adam Gardner and the top of the charts? Brandon Richardson goes top of the charts. Jacob Zala even higher. Let's see. Max Service is stalled out in 4th. Greg Holt comes off of turn number 4, and Greg Holt will go second quickest. How about Jacob Zala? A 41.986. My goodness, what a lap. Tyler Markle, the last driver to win in the Outlaws Sim Series at this facility. Now, it was a completely different track. We were at the road course layout of this track when Markle won the race here at Auto Club. Tyler Markle goes 8th quickest. Andrew St. Coeur, one of those drivers in the playoff hunt. He needs a good run tonight to continue his gains on the playoff cut line. Andrew St. Coeur off of turn number 4. Andrew St. Coeur will go 14th quickest. Andrew Pratt is now on track. And Andrew Pratt was not too far off the top of the practice boards from earlier. Andrew Pratt works his way down the back straightaway. And we'll see what he can do. Andrew Pratt to the start finish line. He's still got another lap, but Pratt will go 14th quickest. Let's see who else. James Gilliard, Jeremiah Stutzman, a couple drivers that could do some damage up towards the top of the charts. Joshua McClune. Adrian Schumacher has gone out there and done a lap in a bit, and looks like he will not get another crack. Farron Elam Jr. is out there as well. Looks like everybody trying to qualify, and Seth Berger has made it into the session. So there's Burger Nation's driver making his way in. Josh McClune goes 11th. James Gilliard 17th. Jeremiah Stutzman off of turn number 4 with 4 minutes. 4 1/4 left in this qualifying session. Jeremiah Stutzman will cross the line, and his first lap puts him 20th. But let's really look forward to his second lap. Let's see where Jeremiah Stutzman, where he'll end up. Also, nothing to slouch about. Jason Miz in the playoff hunt needs a good run to maintain. Actually, he's below the cut line coming into today, so he needs a run, but he's going to clock in at 18th right behind Gilliard. He's got another lap to go. As Gilliard, his second lap will put him 16th, right above Devin Smith, one of those drivers also in the cutoff. Now, Jason Miz working his way down the back straightaway as Jeremiah Stutzman has worked his way off of turn number 4. Jeremiah Stutzman, where does he go? It'll be 4th quickest for Jeremiah Stutzman. Farron Elam Jr. has gone 18th. And now Jason Miz working his way off of turn number 4. Jason Miz, where does he end up in relation to his competitors in the playoff hunt? Jason Miz goes 13th quickest for Jason Miz. Farron Elam Jr. still has another lap out there as well. Let's see what Farron Elam Jr. can put up on the board right now from the 19th position. Not looking so hot through the center of the corner. Looked very slow in 3 and 4, but can he prove me wrong? Coming off of turn number 4, the lap time for Farron Elam Jr. Second lap will be faster, but not fast enough to improve his position. Farron Elam Jr. sat in the 19th position, and with 2.5 minutes left in qualifying, we still have Seth Berger and Adrian Schumacher to go out there and set a time, though I don't think Schumacher will be able to get another valid lap time in. Right now, Seth Berger, he has not made his way out to the track either. We will see if he gets a lap time in. And yeah, so right now, with qualifying looking like it's going to peak out for the moment, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to the action with coverage of the Outlaw Sim Series round 18 of 36 in just a moment. Don't you go away. Welcome back, race fans, to the live coverage of the Outlaws Sim Series. We are here, race 18 of 36, the final race of the first half of the Outlaws Sim Series season. The run to the playoffs has 9 races remaining. The ninth to last race of the regular season is tonight, and let's take a look at how that field will start. And of course, it's gonna go with the starting lineup, and this is gonna this has really thrown me for a loop. But Jacob Zala has gone top of the charts, and not only top of the charts, the only driver to get a sub 42 second lap time. He'll go to the top of the charts and win the Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award with a 41.986. There's actually a glitch with the grid real quick, so let's see if we can get it. There it is. So Jacob Zala will start from the front row. Alongside of him, it'll be Greg Holt, another driver that we've seen be fast. Haven't seen him to be able to put the race together just yet. Brandon Richardson, a pleasant surprise to the top 3. He'll start third alongside Jeremiah Stutzman. Row number 4 will find Andrew St. Cour, who needs a good run to clean up down at the bottom of the playoff standings. And Adam Gardner will start 6th. Row number 4 will find Max Service and Joseph Costi. Row number 5, it'll be Malico and Andrew Pratt. Row 6, Tyler Markle, Kyle Lingerfeld. We file back to the next 12 drivers. Find Jason Miz and Joshua McClune making up row 7. Matthew Setzer and Eric Peck, row number 8. Kevin Thompson, James Gilliard, row 9. Farron Elam Jr. and Devin Smith will make up row number 10. It'll be Garrett Velzy and Doug Solms making up row number 11. Seth Berger, Adrian Schumacher, row number 12. And that's going to do the starting lineup there. And wow, I mean, once again, very, very impressed with Jacob Zala filling in for the 8 of Landon Cardullo. Now, will he be able to hold the car up there in race pace? The iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car into the safety up pit lane. Jacob Zala will lead the field to the green. Joseph Costi hard into the wall. He's going to get collected by James Gilliard, and around goes Devin Smith. They're going to collect Jason Miz back there as well. Big accident with no fast repairs. James Gilliard in trouble. That is not what he needed for his playoff hopes. The caution is out. Joseph Costi still stopped in turn number 2. Oh, his car is stuck. Or something's wrong with Joseph Costi's car. Oh, and it's just started rolling. Wow, I don't know what happened. Obviously we're gonna take a look at it. Let's see what happened. This is gonna be from the initial start. This is gonna be back here. Joseph Costi, Andrew Pratt, Malenko, Max Service to the inside of the 88. Costi gets a great start. Andrew St. Cour did not get such a great start. Andrew St. Cour down the inside. Costi in the middle lane. Joseph Costi threading the needle. Oh no, and the car just turns right. Nowhere for Gilliard to go. Devin Smith gets clipped. What happened? Something mechanical must have happened with Joseph Costi's car. We'll have to see what happened here from the helmet cam. I'm sorry, from the visor cam of the 88. And we're riding on board with Joseph Costi, a driver who has 2 wins on the season already, and he's missed 6 races. Joseph Costi. Oh, he tries to correct it, and then it just stops working. Oh my goodness. I don't quite know what to say. get an overhead view, and then we'll get back to it. But again, the entire start, something mechanical happens to the 88 of Joseph Cossi that causes his wheel to lock up on him. Wow. And there's nowhere for Gilliard to go. Devin Smith should be okay. He's going to have a lot of back end damage, I don't actually know. Wow. Joseph Cossi has continued on, but it's going to be 22nd. And, yeah, I think Cossi's actually out. I am so confused with what happened there. Let's see, is this the 1 to green? If this is not the 1 to green, we will continue. And we'll get an interview in, and this is the 1 to green. So I'll let Jacob do his thing. But, yeah, what a wild, ride. Man. I don't quite know what to say. I don't quite know what to say. That is just a wild incident. And if we think back to the last time we were here at Auto Club, Joseph Cossi led the race. He led the first 30 laps. And then something happened with his wheel. And Joseph Cossi just missed turn 4 of the infield road or the first corner that wasn't the oval. His wheel locks up on him and he just crashes, and Tyler Markle goes on to take the lead of that race. He leads the final 20 laps and wins. And I'm thinking that the same thing happened. Is Joseph Cossi an Auto Club just not a combination for the wheel he has? Or man, I am not entirely sure. But same song, second verse, the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car pulls off into the safety of pit lane, and we are back to racing at the Auto Club Speedway. Wow, Jacob Zollek so close to that outside wall right off the bat. How about Jeremiah Stutzman working his way up to the 3rd position? Does he have anything for Greg Holt? Stutzman and Holt continue to duke it out for second as Jacob Zollek continues his trudge up the field up front. And Devin Smith is out. So that 46-point cushion, that's going to prove very helpful coming into today's race. And now Jeremiah Stutzman under attack for Max Service. The battle 4v 3rd position. Well, this is battle for second on there, but it's really the battle for third between Service and Stutzman. Let's see if Zala is going to do the same thing that Cardullo did the last time we were at a D-shaped oval. Get out to a huge lead and get eaten right up by drivers saving tires. Jeremiah Stutzman a little slow on corner exit. He's going to fall low. Now Max Service has moved his way into 3rd and clears Jeremiah Stutzman. They're going 3 wide behind. We're going to have Brandon Richardson and Adam Gardner going at it 4v4th position now. I'm sorry, this for the 4th position with Jeremiah Stutzman. Richardson falls back behind Stutzman. And this continues. Back up front, Zala has a 1 second advantage over Greg Holt. Can he hold it is the question. Did he get the wall there? Did he almost get the wall? Looks like he's okay, but that is... I don't know. We'll let it play out and we'll wait and see. Brendan Richardson now with the defense on Andrew Pratt and Malenko. Oh, wow. Oh, so tight. Malenko wanted to take it 3 wide, and Pratt was not having it. He forced that door shut. Oh, Richardson on that white line. You see, now that is doable. That's not illegal or anything, but you have to do it right. You have to have the car completely on the white line, or you have to have it be used to help you turn the car, because if you're just kind of on there and you're not really getting an advantage from that, if you're just slowing yourself down. And now Malenko shoots to the inside of Richardson as Pratt is cleared. Richardson just prior. Pratt into the 5th position. Malenko moves up into 6th. Now Richardson comes back on Malenko. We look further back. We find Miz and Markle going at it with Lingerfeld and Elam. This is the battle going on for 8th. Markle forces it to the inside of the 29 of Richardson. What a move from Tyler Markle to take 7th. He wanted 7th, and he took it. Everybody kind of singling it out for themselves here, and Elam continues side by side with Kyle Lingerfeld. And Elam, the pleasant surprise into the top 10. Can he hold on to it? Is next question. Looks like Lingerfeld actually more under attack from Josh McClune. And in that case, that helps out. But McClune now going to be really wanting to get by the 20 of Elam. Back up front, Jacob Zala continues his gap of 9/10 of a second over Max Service. Service has gone around Greg Holt. We'll see Service. Can he continue to fend off Greg Holt? Can he start to chase down Jacob Zala? The gap 9/10 of a second has now dropped below that. Service continues on his charge forward. Adam Gardner, a pleasant surprise, in 4th position and holding his own. I think Gardner, if he can put this race together, will be a very, very strong run. Now, he's got a lot of laps to go, and of course, he's still got to do pit stops and all. You got to make it mistake-free. But Gardner is holding his own for now. He, wants to keep the tires under him. As Max Service said, you want to keep the right front underneath you. And yeah, if you notice there, that camera shot, we have virtual fans back in the stands. Actually, no, well, that happened actually at Quebec, but they're starting to allow them back into stands in iRacing, at least. No, I'm kidding, but nonetheless, it's good to have the full feeling back of all these races. Nonetheless, and now Jacob Zala is being closed in from Max Service little by little. That gap now 7/10 of a second, and it continues to close. I'll tell you what, we never took a look at the race info that I so desperately meant to show you all, but 110 laps tonight, 75% fuel load for these drivers, 6 sets of tires, no fast repairs, unlimited overtime attempts. Not a whole lot different, just the race distance, really. And, yeah, those no fast repairs. That's really going to hurt. But you know what? Devin Smith is still out here, and he's trucking in the 21st position. He has leapfrogged Joseph Kiyossi, James Gilliard, and Seth Berger, who are, well, they're not here. They have called it a day, so to speak. Back up front, now Jacob Zala really getting hounded by Max Service. This is not looking good for Jacob Zala. Looking just like the driver he's fulfilling for, Landon Cardulo. Getting eaten up by a driver who's maybe just managed his tires a little bit better. Sean Thompson says, good luck, number 89, Kevin Thompson. Great job for a low-budget rookie. So more on Seth Berger. I don't know if he has his family tuning in tonight, but if you are and you didn't get the memo, from what I've heard, is that he's adopting a puppy today, and he could not make today's race. I think he just had a starting park actually, because he scored 14 laps down, but we've run 16 complete laps. So I guess he must have started the race and called it a day, but nonetheless, he's just making the starts because you want to make yourself eligible as soon as possible. With the 75% starts rule, Jacob Zala still holding his own, but is under attack from Service and Holt. And you saw in the background, Adam Gardner under attack from Andrew Pratt. Malenko has actually been pleasantly surprising me as well. I've not seen Malenko do too hot at tracks where tire saving matters. And he's right now in the the 6th position and closing up. Now we have the battle here. Max Service, does he have anything for Jacob Zala? Sends it to the inside. To the inside, Service. Can he clear Zala? Zala under attack from Greg Holt as well. Zala slots in line right in front of Greg Holt, but he's not done yet. And it's the Canadian of Max Service back up front. And leading, not on a pit cycle for the first time in a while. Here comes Jacob Zala back to the inside of the 81 of Max Service. They continue to duke it out, and Greg Holtz holding steady in the 3rd position. Andrew Pratt has gotten around Adam Gardner for the 4th position, and Malenko has been passed by Brandon Richardson. So this continues. Zala fights back hard on Service. And Greg Holt trying to get into this battle as well. They're going to go side by side down the front straightaway. Does Holt want to make it 3 wide? Oh, and into the wall goes Service. Was there contact? Take a look back and see, but Greg Holt has since taken the lead. Let's see what happened, and they just came together. Zala came up the track a little bit. Zala came up the track a little bit more than Max Service came down the track, but they both moved out of their lanes. Let's see here. Service came down a quarter of a lane, and Zala came up from about a lane and a half. I have to see this. Zala's in the 3rd lane, Service in the 2nd lane. And Zala, I don't know what was really going on there. I don't know why he was trying to side draft so hard and let Greg Holt get back to the race lead, but now Zala back in it, and he's really hurt Service now, which kind of does in one part of the competition for Jacob Zala. Now he looks forward to try to get back by Greg Holt. And Greg Holt way up the track. Big moment. Zala goes by Service, and now Andrew Pratt. What happened there? Let's see, was there any contact into 3? More contact. Zala has now hit 2 of his competitors for the race lead, man, and I'll tell you what, that's not a good look. That is not a good look. Whether the first one was his fault or not, I mean, just 2 contacts with your 2 competitors for the race lead and 2 consecutive laps. That doesn't sound good. Max Service back in second now. Andrew Pratt looking to get to the action for second. Greg Holt now under attack from Adam Gardner. Brandon Richardson and Malenko is still up here as well, but Malenko is actually under attack from Farron Elam Jr., who's done a very nice job trying to get up to the field. Elam now in 8th. As Malenko under attack from him, and the whole field is stacked right up with the 3 leaders really causing accidents with one another. And now Service back on Zala. How aggressive will Service be after the contact that him and Zala made? And we expect pit stops to happen in the next 10, 12 laps from what we heard from Max Service in the practice session. Farron Elam Jr. has cleared Malenko into the 7th position for Farron Elam Jr. Richardson has gotten by Gardner. Up front, it is very tight. For a race I thought would be spread out, and Richardson catches the wall a little bit on the back straightaway. Coming down into turn 3, Andrew Pratt might have something to say about Max Service and Jacob Zala, especially with us coming to the longer run here. And you gotta think, the Zala and Service, do they repair the damage that they took from the incident? Zala, of course, has more and would want to try to avoid a tire rub. And now Greg Holt gets his way to the inside of Andrew Pratt. And here comes Brandon Richardson as Farron Elam Jr. has made his way into the 6th position. Very, very pleasantly surprised with Farron Elam Jr. I'll tell you what, and hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this, he has the lowest I rating in the field, and he is dotting up the field. He is slicing and dicing his way forward. He started in 19th. Apparently Elam Jr. is now in the 6th position. And I'm not going to say his number. I'm just not going to say, I'll tell you the second lowest I rating in the lobby is about a 1300. And it's quite a bit lower than 1300 what Farron Elam Jr. has, but he is, you would not know it, by the way, he is slicing and dicing his way into the 5th position over Brandon Richardson. Farron Elam Jr. is on a mission. And you know what? I think he pitted on the initial caution. He's going to send his way to the inside of Max Service. No, he did not pit Farron Elam Jr. He should have done a brilliant job at saving tires. Richardson has gotten by Service as well. Or, I'm sorry. Yes. Wow, Farron Elam Jr. is on it tonight. He's got the 3 leaders right in front of him. Adam Gardner has hit the pit lane, a little bit of a short pit, but I guess if everybody's gonna pit the same amount of times, get the advantage you can get. He's probably splitting this race into even fourths, coming in at 28. Not too in front of Farron Elam Jr. going side by side. Pratt on Elam. Zala trying to regain some sort of momentum up front. It's just insane what Elam's doing, and now Malenko is pitted. So as the pit stops begin, Fair and Elam Jr. still trying to find his way forward. As Zala continues up front. Is Elam going to send it 3 wide? He wanted to. He's looking to the outside of Pratt. He's just trying to find a way around these two. Richardson is fighting back here. Now on the outside, is Elam going to have any run? Especially with Richardson getting boxed in behind Pratt. Down the back straightaway they go. And Holt giving a little lane to the outside of him. And Elam has cleared into third, going for second on Greg Holt. Very late into a tire run. Andrew Pratt has hit the pit lane along with Max Service. Adrian Schumacher in as well. Now here comes Kevin Thompson. Doug Solms has hit the pit lane. And Theron Elam Jr. has made his way to second. As they put a lap on Devin Smith. Smith under pace because of the incident he had. Oh, Schumacher stopped in the stall for 0.2 of a second. I don't know if he had to stop and go or didn't have his stuff checked, or maybe oh yeah, maybe he just had an incident in the box. Missed the box or something. But wow, Theron Elam Jr. up into the second position and taking the lead now as Jacob Zala has pitted. Theron Elam Jr. is in the race lead here at Auto Club. I think Zala missed the stall as well. Have to back up a little bit. Yeah, now the tires are going up. Theron Elam Jr. will stay out another lap and officially lead a green flag lap. Now I know it's somewhat under pit cycle because the leader did pit. But he got his way up to second by himself, and Schumacher went off the track. Let's see what happened with Adrian Schumacher. It looks like he had a penalty or something. He locked up, trying to come back to pit road. And a bad day gone worse for Adrian Schumacher, but he has the wins. He just needs to make the start at this point. So, but unfortunately, he did have some pace. Greg Holt stays out. Elam and Richardson come in. Greg Holt has not taken over the lead of this race with Jason Miz up to second. Jeremiah Stutzman third. Kyle Lingerfeld fourth. Josh McLuhan in fifth as this battle continues on. Tyler Markle in sixth. Matthew Setzer seventh. Andrew St. Cour in eighth. Garrett Velzy ninth. Eric Peck 10th. Adam Gardner 11th. Wenfing cycled through. Greg Holt not getting passed by Max Service, who's already been in and pitted. Jeremiah Stutzman trying to take the lead on the track from Greg Holt. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. And Stutzman, Jeremiah Stutzman to the race lead. He gives it up on corner entry. Now Jason Miz to the race lead. And they're going to fight side by side. Holt files into third. It looks like Adam Gardner right now at the moment is the theoretical leader if he can fend off Jacob Zala. Eric Peck has now hit the pit lane, and now Greg Holt has pitted. Josh McClune has pitted. Kyle Lingerfelt has pitted. Matthew Setzer has pitted. And here's Gardner. He's fighting. Gardner knows he's gonna be in the lead if he can fend off Zala here. And Malico's short pit as well puts him in the theoretical third. And Gardner fends him off. Continue on. Jason Miz looks like he's coming in. Stutzman staying out another lap. Tyler Markle doing so as well, looks like it. So Jeremiah Stutzman all by himself is out there. Adam Gardner is saying, please pit. He wants to lead a lap. And Stutzman continues on his way up front. And Tyler Markle's still out there as well. Gardner sliding up the track, and he's into the wall. Malenko, I think, followed suit as well. And now Zala under attack from Malenko. Jeremiah Stutzman continues around the track. Tyler Markle's coming in. Jacob Zala now the theoretical race leader, waiting for Jeremiah Stutzman to pit, and I think Stutzman's going on this extra long strategy to cut a pit stop out of the race. And here comes Jeremiah Stutzman. Race leader Stutzman's in. Has the lead over Jacob Zala. Jacob Zala will reassume the race lead when he cycles around. Here comes Jacob Zala. Taking over the race lead from Jeremiah Stutzman. Malika will be in second position over Adam Gardner third. Andrew Pratt and Max Service duking it out for fourth. Theron Elam Jr. in sixth. Joshua McClune seventh. Greg Holt eighth. Jason Miz ninth. Jeremiah Stutzman's racing on pit exit. He will be racing Kyle Lingerfelt for 10th and Kevin Thompson. So back up front, lap 40 of 110 underway. Jacob Zala leads. We're going to take a moment and go a little loud and proud with these NASCAR Xfinity Series cars. Jacob Zala is your race leader. Welcome back, race fans, to the Outlaws Sim Series. We're here at the Auto Club Speedway. Jacob Zala, your race leader. He's led most of the race tonight. He has a 2-second advantage over Malenko. Andrew Pratt is another second back. Max Service in the 4th position. Adam Gardner holds station in P5. We'll find Fair and Elam Jr. under attack from Josh McClune for the 6th and 7th position going on, respectively. Greg Holt back in the 8th position. We'll find Jason Miz, P number 9, and Jeremiah Stutzman rounding out the top 10. Kevin Thompson sat in 11th, and we got, of course, we shouted out Sean Thompson for wishing Kevin Thompson good luck. And then Mark Berger did confirm what I was told, and Seth Berger did adopt a puppy tonight. Burger Nation, he says. Lisa Pratt says, let's go. Andrew Pratt, number 75. And Andrew Pratt, man, what a day Andrew Pratt has had. It has been a pretty stout day, up 7 spots from where he started, and then really putting up a fight up front. Andrew Pratt has been fun to watch tonight. So back up front, Zala again. He started from the pole, and I mean, man, I'm shocked. I did not think he'd be able to do this. I'll eat my humble pie, and be the first to admit I didn't think he'd be up here for this long. First, I didn't think he'd really be up here. He just kind of set a nice hot lap in practice. I'm like, okay, he'll maybe qualify. Pretty nice. I mean, he went up to 7th. He fell down to 7th quickest. I did not think this is what we were going to get out of Jacob Zala. He's been in the booth the last 3 weeks. He self-proclaimed that he's not, really the material for this league. And, he said he does like Auto Club. So that was one plus for him coming into today. I just didn't see a whole lot of positives for him. But apparently Landon did. Apparently Jacob did to agree to do this, and man, he's opening up the gap on Malenko now. Malenko dropping out 3.5 seconds back. He's now under attack from Andrew Pratt. This battle going on for 2nd. Pratt to the inside of the 7. Side by side down the French straightaway we go, and it'll be Andrew Pratt clearing into the 2nd position. No, Malenko fights back. This continues on, and Pratt now clear of Malenko. Pratt can maybe get his head down here and start looking to see what he can do looking forward. Can he chase down Jacob Zala? Now we look. Malenko was one of the first drivers to come in and pit, along with Adam Gardner. They pitted around lap 58 or so. Give or take that. Let's say they're going to 56. Cool. 56 or thereabouts is where we expect the next round of pit stops to happen. 56, 58, thereabouts. To start, we look at race leader Jacob Zala. He came in on lap 31, so he's continuing on that trend. Now, of course, remember these guys had a caution. Where Adam Gardner comes out to pit, maybe that's 54 because they had 3 or 4 caution laps. Pratt really dives down the bottom of the French straightaway to break the draft. Elam in the 4th. over McClune. And chasing down, oh, still battling McClune. They gotten around Holt, though. McClune pushing his way past Farron Elam Jr. No, Elam fights back. So back to the pit stops. Give or take 2 laps or so, we could expect the first pit stop. Do I expect it to happen? No, I expect it to happen at about lap 56 earliest, but could happen lap 54. With Zala, we expect it to come 60, 61, 62, 63 maybe, just based on when he pitted the first round. Of course, you gotta factor out the caution, so maybe pits 60 if the caution has a factor in it. But then you're looking at a 50 lap run to the end, which is gonna be split by pit stop probably in the middle. Jeremiah Stutzman, on the other hand, went as late as lap 38, which, factor out the caution, say 34 laps. Let's say he goes 38 and 30, 68, 72. And then look at that. 110 minus 72 is 38. I did do that math right. I double checked that. So it's looking tight. If Stutzman can save 2 more laps on each stint, Stutzman could cut a pit stop out of this race. And he tends to do this a lot. He tends to do the pit stop strategy to try to cut a pit stop out or do some sort of strategy to put himself in a better situation if he doesn't feel he can win based on pace. That's fine. If you can't win it on pace, you got to try something, right? So Jeremiah Stutzman is now in a prime opportunity with the early caution to have to say maybe about 2 laps per stint, which is not that much. Now, it's a lot at a very fast D-shaped oval. But 2 laps is not back-breaking at all. Very doable per stint. Andrew St. Cyr hits the pit lane on lap 55. Jeremiah Stutzman, look at him to try to come in lap 74. And then you're really talking about him trying to make that lap 110 mark. Jeremiah Stutzman could cut a pit stop out of this race. Now, is he going to be fast enough to outrun the pit stop? We'll see. Jeremiah Stutzman right now, he's at the start-finish while Zala... Actually, he's not far back at all. Zala's coming off of turn 2 as Stutzman's entering turn 1. This is very possible for Jeremiah Stutzman. So be on the lookout for Stutzman's strategies. Adam Gardner has hit the pit lane. Lap 56, car 56. He's probably going to just take the rest of the race, split it in half. That's cool. 3-stop race for him. 2-stop race is the plan for Stutzman. Richardson's in as well. Jacob Zala continues on his run as Malenko hits the pit lane. So if you can see Jeremiah Stutzman look anywhere later than 71, we can really consider him to try to make a pit stop less in this race. And he's only a turn behind the race leader. This is doable. Max Service has hit the pit lane. We're just kind of watching at this moment to see how strategies will play out. And pretty much after this round of pit stops, when Stutzman to pits, we can recap when the drivers who pitted now are looking the next pit. So give or take mid-80s, late 80s, early 90s. Malenko's crashed. Malenko spun on the back straightaway. Probably on pit exit. Well, let's see what happened. Yeah, he's here on pit exit. And As long as he doesn't collide with anybody, we should be fine. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Just all by himself. Pushing too hard on pit exit, it's gonna do it. So Zala continues on his way. Service is sent to lift the pit lane, and Zala's coming in now, actually a little earlier, but he should split the rest of the race in half, no biggie. And here's the battle for the lead now that we're looking at. We have Greg Holt, Theron Elam Jr., Jason Miz, Joshua McClune. Could throw Andrew Pratt in there. He's not too far back. He's not in the camera frame now, but he's only a second and a half back, and continues to lose time down the front stretch, so maybe not a good turns 3 and 4. But this has been a highly contested battle back here for what's been pretty much right behind Zala for the most part. And Gardner's hoping he can get some laps led with his short pit, but Stutzman staying out so long, man. Gardner's got to really hope that he has an advantage over Zala. Maybe Zala's reducing the effects of Gardner's short pit. What he's doing here. Plus, Zala did not have... Oh. Yeah, Zala is easily going to beat out Gardner, but Gardner's on the back straight. Something... Andrew Pratt has now pitted. And Zala has a clean pit exit. Gardner had an 18-second stop, but that still shouldn't have been that far off. I am not entirely sure what had happened. Maybe a slow pit exit. But Greg Holt continues to lead over Jason Miz, Josh McClune, Theron Elam. As Andrew Pratt and Kevin Thompson have hit the pit lane. Lisa Pratt woos second for Andrew Pratt. Yep, Pratt was doing pretty well. Came in and made a stop. Should be his second to last stop of the evening. He'll make one more. Doug Solms has hit the pit lane. From the 10th position to Max Service, looking to unlap himself from this group of drivers who have come in. So Greg Holt continues on his way up here. I'm interested to see what Holt's plan is. Maybe just stay now as long as he can here to make the stop later shorter and try to gain some advantage that way. That's also a viable strategy. Take only the amount of fuel you have to take. Maybe take 2 tires later. Consider you really only wear out the right side. Now, I don't really know. I have not done a long run. I don't know how bad the left sides get, but it's plausible. I'm throwing it out there. Not impossible. And Jeremiah Stutzman, not too far back as well, continues on his way there in 5th. If we can see Stutzman coming on about 8 laps. Might be looking pretty as Schumacher's hit his way into the pit lane. Eric Peck, Kevin Thompson. Thompson, an extended stay in the pit lane. Possibly a little damage. Continues. Greg Holt continues up front. Lap 65 of 110. The halfway point of today's race. No, 55 is the halfway point. So we missed it 10 laps ago. But wow, we are flying through the race. We are already past halfway. Only 90 minutes in. And yeah. Only one caution, of course, at the beginning. Joseph Kiossi. A wheel malfunction at turn 2, Auto Club once again for Joseph Kiossi. Schumacher had a 54-second stop. My goodness. This continues on. The battle for the lead with Greg Holt and Jason Miz. The battle for third between McClune and Theron Elam Jr. Let's see how Jacob Zala is in relation to these guys. Well, Zala is our theoretical leader over Max Service. Andrew Pratt unlapping himself. Malenko and Adam Gardner going at it. So I'm thinking what Holt and Miz are doing. They're trying to do to extend the field strategy. But they're kind of behind the 8 ball doing it. I think they're picking up momentum on the strategy. They're going to have to really save in this final stint. Or they're just going as long as they can because they should be coming in the next couple of laps. Yep, McClune is in. Say they go 34 laps on a tank of gas. Well, 34 is 68. Take the caution, maybe 70. 71, but then we're also in the same boat. We could see Holt, Miz, Elam try to make the strategy as well. If they're saving. If they're not saving, they're missing out on an opportunity to realize score. But the fact that Elam has pace, and if Elam is going for the strategy, and he's at his I rating that he is. I know I rating doesn't mean exactly everything because, you know, the officials can be quite toxic sometimes, to say the least. And Elam is at the pit lane, so scratch all of that. We continue on, lap 69 of 110. Holt, Miz continue out in front. Jeremiah Stutzman third, Kyle Lingerfeld fourth, Tyler Markle fifth, Matthew Setzer sixth, Jacob Zala still has yet to pit. He has scored 7th. I'm sorry, Jacob Zala has pitted. And Holt, looks like Holt may be coming in now. Miz continues on. Does Miz maybe try the extend strategy? Now that early caution, that really helps the people who are trying to extend. But Elam is down and away. Holt is in now. Stutzman still out in second. Lingerfeld third. Markle up to fourth. And Setzer right behind. Looks like Jason Miz is coming down now. Jeremiah Stutzman, we expect him to stay on another couple laps at least to make it easier on himself. And Schumacher has had an off track. Man. Lingerfeld is in. He is not going all in on this extend strategy. Setzer is in. Elam trying to really get to the inside of Jeremiah Stutzman. And he stays out another lap. Now we're coming into the range where this could be Jeremiah Stutzman's final pit stop. And it's looking legitimate. Tyler Markle is still out as well. Markle in this range. Markle looking to get himself a nice result. He has about 12 seconds over Zala. And so saving the fuel on this final run is going to be crucial. And then staying out in front of Jacob Zala. But man, what a beautiful job Stutzman is doing right now. If he can make this work. Stutzman, is he coming in now? No, stays out another lap. Get every last lap you can out of that tank. Don't run it dry. You run it out of gas, you blow up your entire chance to win. but you want to get as many laps as you can out of that tank. Making him, what he has to do now is a lot easier. Tyler Markle is in now. He can shoot for it. It's going to be hard. It's going to save. From what Service told me, you got to make... Oh, Setzer has crashed. Oh, he's on the front straightaway. Jeremiah Stutzman is saving. And Miz has had an off track. Yeah, Stutzman trying to get another lap, and this is making himself easier. Because he only has to save 2 laps of gas. From what Service says, Service told me he can go 34 laps. There's 36 laps to go, and Stutzman still has yet to make his final pit stop. Zala is 23 seconds behind. He has... Well, he's going to make one more stop, too. So when Stutzman comes in, how far back is he from Zala? And then when Zala makes his final stop, can he beat Stutzman? That's pretty much the question. Jeremiah Stutzman goes another lap. Jeremiah Stutzman is really, really toying with this here. He might not even have to save. We will look at the Setzer crash and the Schumacher off track and the Miz off track. As soon as Jeremiah Stutzman does pit. Those are all crucial moments we will take a look at. If Stutzman can crank one more lap out of this, he is sitting pretty. Oh my god, he's going another lap. Jeremiah Stutzman is looking really good on cutting a pit stop out of this race and having the pace to do something with it. He needs this race to go green to the end now. Jeremiah Stutzman cannot have a caution come out, which that was scary with Setzer sitting crossways on the start-finish straight. Stutzman needs to, of course, keep the car clean, keep it out of trouble, and not have a magic race changer affect this race. And here comes Stutzman. 22 seconds is advantage over Zala. What is the deficit? And then how long is Zala in the pit lane? When does he pit? All that jazz. Stutzman is in and Zala has passed for the lead. It won't be that much of a margin. It'll be maybe half a lap, which Stutzman can still do something with that. Now, let's take a look what happened with Adrian Schumacher. Oh, he must have gotten loose out of 4. He kept his foot in it. Matthew Setzer. Let's see what happened to Matthew Setzer. Coming off turn 4, does he just get loose? Oh, he tries to save it, spins up the track, spins round. 1.5, 2 donuts, slides, and waits to rejoin. Well, that is an interesting spin. Let's see what happened to Miz. Same thing. Same song, third verse. For front straightaway spins. He keeps it straight though. And let's see what the gap is between Zala and Stutzman. Stutzman is at pit exit now and Zala is at start finish now. It's a tall task. It's not impossible. Take a look at the comments. Shoop and Snibble says number 65 Lingerfeld's second biggest fan here, behind only his Grammy. Back again to say number 65 is going to win, baby. Let's see who gets second, because first is already decided. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see, where is Lingerfeld right now? Oh no. What? Something happened to Lingerfeld. He's no longer in the race. See if we can go back and see what happened. This is Lingerfeld's last lap in the race. Which was lap 71. Oh no, did he spin? He spun on the pit road. Oh no. Oh, he destroyed the car. Man. And that one did not even come up on timing and scoring. Wow. Adam Gardner is in for what could be his final stop. Well, this should be Adam Gardner's final stop, at least. He's sitting there for an extended period of time, getting some damage repairs, I would assume. We continue on. Jacob Zala has a 5.5 second advantage. And pretty much for this race to go his way, he needs something to happen to Jeremiah Stutzman's strategy. And we'll see what happens in that regard. Malenko is now in for his final pit stop. And there's Malenko coming in. Oh, must have had trouble on pit entry. Let's see what happened. This is Malenko. Malenko coming down on pit entry. He locks up and slides. Man, didn't hit anything, but that's not gonna help him in any way. And now we're joined with Landon Cardullo, who is normally the driver of the number 8, which that car is leading the race right now.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How much have you been watching?
I basically watched the whole thing.
Sweet deal. Whoa, Zala. Oh, trying to come to pit road. That was a wild pit entry. Very eventful.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. No harm, no foul. He had a decent sized margin.
I think he's trying to short bit here. Trying to mess with Jeremiah's strat.
Yeah, at this point he's probably gonna have to. He's probably realized it because he's gonna need to make up the time somehow. Jeremiah is set to go to the end. Is this gonna be maybe a right sides only, or is this gonna be 4 tires and get as much time as he can?
I think at this track you need 4 tires no matter what.
Shoop and Snibble says, Addy took a fall, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sad. He will be back stronger and better than ever. When he falls, he gets back up and makes everyone else pay for it. I got faith in my boy. Oh, and spinning up and exit the 8.
Oh, he's choking it.
That's not going to help. That is not going to help. Hopefully he didn't get a penalty with that. He kept it in between the white lines. I do want to say that was pretty sick to keep it in between the white lines.
That was pretty scary.
That was scary. Let's see what happened. Leaving pit exit. Maybe just a little too much gas. You know, of course he's on time. He's got to make up time. And ooh. Now I don't know. Is it an unsafe pit entry if you hit the grass on the inside?
You know, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But for his sake, let's hope it's not. And this could be interesting. That's not going to help out in his quest to try to catch Stutzman, but right now, with 25 laps to go, Zala's halfway down the back straightaway. Stutzman is coming into 1. It's that's a tall task. But
Yeah. I don't know on this.
Stutzman might have to save a little bit, but maybe not. He saved a lot in that middle stint.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Zala's been faster than Stutzman all day long.
For sure.
Zala's been setting his own
But
pace, so we'll see.
I don't know what Stutzman's true pace is, because he could have been saving right from the start. It's Jeremiah Stutzman goes into each race trying to cut a pit stop out of most races.
That is true.
So I don't know what
He
his
certainly has done it
genuine.
tonight.
Yeah, Max Service told me that it couldn't be done, but you know what? I think everybody was banking on this race to go caution free, and I'm not entirely sure what happened. I'm only assuming some sort of malfunction with something to happen at Causey's.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That was crazy. And that hurt Gilliard and Devin Smith, and both of those drivers are in the playoff bubble, trying to make it into the playoffs. And you know, that caution that really helped a lot of drivers, because you know they could save under those 4 caution laps.
What happened to Max?
Not entirely sure. I think he's pitted, and he's just the theoretical second place driver.
Well, okay.
But
Let's give a shout out to Mr. Doug Solms out here running P11.
Yes, sir. Doug Solms, the trooper. You know, you figure with him running each of these races as long as he can, one of these days they're gonna fall his way. And right now it's looking okay for him. A lot of racing to go, but Solms, 23 laps to go. Let's see how this falls. That nice Skull Bandit, black and white car, not the traditional green car. Like it.
So how you doing today, Emerson?
I'm doing all right. I was a little worried because I hadn't done a broadcast in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Kansas was my last broadcast, and I'm like,
Well, hopefully everybody's had a good vacation and.
For sure. Hopefully everybody had a great holiday season. I think Kwanzaa is still going on, so happy Kwanzaa to those. Or maybe it just ended.
I know for sure nobody's been practicing their pit stops here today this week.
Man, I don't even know if it was pit stops. I don't know if you saw those 4 drivers who spun off of turn 4.
I did. I saw Malenko spin off at
Yeah.
a pit exit. Almost saw Jacob do it. It's crazy.
Wow. You know, what Jacob did, that might end up in like a highlight reel or something, like the Tokyo Drift. That was gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
But yeah. How was your Christmas, man? How was your holiday season?
It was good. Spent it with family, worked half of the time, and it's just, very humble I get to spend it with my family.
For sure. Here comes race leader Josh McClune. Matthew Setzer's coming in as well. Everybody watching in the chat, feel free to share how your holidays went. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or any other holiday that goes on around this time, or even if they don't. How have y'all been doing? Just a general question. It's McClune, Pratt, Setzer in the pit lane. Oh, they both stop on the marks right there.
So I was hearing that Jacob was actually thinking about coming in on lap 90, but looks like he just tried to cut it short and maybe see what he can gain.
Yeah, let's see right now. He's 20 seconds behind Jeremiah Stutzman. He's got to gain a second a lap. That's what I'm hearing right now. Stutzman halfway down the back. Zala, pit exit now. Oh.
I mean, he's gaining on him. It's just a matter of, if
Does
he has
he have
enough
the time? Meanwhile, Greg Holt hasn't had, the best of runs recently. First, I don't think he showed up to Kansas. And then Holt, he's had pace, but haven't seen the race has been put together yet. I think, this race he's put together pretty nicely, but the strategy looks like it's not going to fall in his favor. We'll see. We continue to watch how it goes. But the biggest shout out I want to give tonight is Theron Elam Jr. I don't want to dog on him for too much.
Where'd he come from?
I was going to say, I'm not gonna lie, the starts he's had this season have not been this level. They have been pretty unsatisfactory, to say the least. He's been outside the top 20 a lot of the starts this season. But man, he showed up today and performed.
Yeah, he did.
Even no matter where he ends up, even if he doesn't finish the race, what a race it's been for Farron Elam Jr., man. Up 16 spots from where he started. Right now, I don't know where the strategy's going to have him fall. But yeah, just what a race it's been for him. And Jason Miz, who's coming into pit lane right now with Greg Holt. Miz is in that playoff battle. He needed to gain points today. He was 4 points behind coming into today. Looking like a good race thus far. 17 laps to go, though. Anything can happen. Back here, Jacob now 18.7 seconds behind Jeremiah Stutzman. He continues to try. Man, I don't know.
I don't know either because McLean just pitted. He's not that far behind Zala, so
That too. McLuhan could have something to say. This is the closest anybody on the same strategy has been to Zala since the beginning of the race. Okay, never mind. The gap had to refresh. Tyler Markle was in the way, or the drivers on pit lane were in the way. I had to reset the gap there. But still, 5.5 seconds. That can go away with anything.
which it basically has been all race. That's been the max.
But nonetheless, again, pretty much the same boat with Zala. I said it a little bit earlier. He said himself that he wasn't really sure if this is for him, and I don't quite know if one race will determine that. But man, what a show he's putting on to come in after a few weeks off, be in the booth for a few weeks and to show up almost basically out of nowhere and perform the way he's done. Farron Elam Jr. has been in the lead and has now made his way to pit lane. A little bit of smoke there. We'll take a look at his pit entry. Just try not to speed. Yeah, that's all.
Zala's catching every lap, but like we said, it's just a matter of time. Does he have enough time to get there?
And Elam is now in the middle of Stutzman and Tyler Markle. Tyler Markle has also stayed out. I can't recall if Markle was on a strategy where he can pull something. I think he was close. He's going to have to save to make it to the end, I think. So I don't think Markle has anything for the race win, but from where Markle's been most of the race, he can definitely improve by cutting a stop out of it. And, I didn't know what to expect for Tyler Markle, quite honestly. The last time we were at this facility, he won, but that was a road course, and he hasn't won since, man. I don't know what to expect.
Exactly.
But up here in second, with 14 laps to go, we'll see where the cards fall. I think he's going to get caught by Zala and McLuhan if Markle's going to go to the end.
Well, it looks like Gardner just held up Zala for some reason. Don't know what that was about, but
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if Gardner had any specific reason for that. Maybe just
probably didn't notice.
Yeah, wasn't completely in it, and I get that after a long run. Not to let's not dog on Adam much at all in his way. Wow, English. Wow, what was that? I do want to say Adam Gardner has done pretty nicely tonight as well. Mostly in the midfield, most races. He came up, he performed earlier, was in the top 5 a lot, and he's sitting in 11th now. We'll see where everything falls out again. But Gardner not having a bad run himself either, along with Solms, along with Elam, and Zala, of course. Richardson as well. He's been quietly making his way up the running order week in, week out. And I know he's finished higher than 10th. Right now he's 10th. And again, we'll kind of have to wait to see where everything falls out. But Richardson's also had a pretty good run as well. A lot of good runs. Andrew Pratt, a much-needed run. He's up there. He has a win this season. But he needs some momentum into the playoffs. So, good runs is how it starts, and who knows, maybe he can build up a win total heading into the playoffs.
Maybe. But I'm looking at the times right now, and it looks like Zala is catching a second a lap. But
Ooh, but
again,
he just got past Tyler Markle, which that is her position.
I guess we'll see right now if he can make it up.
Yeah, it's increasingly looking worse and worse for Jacob Zala. And it is now a 15-second gap with 11 laps to go. And about 20 laps to go, he had a 20-second gap. And I'm sure, as Zala should be trying to get every ounce of those tires onto the racetrack. Getting every bit of those tires onto the track. But what that does is hurts him later into the run. You're not going to gain a second a lap, 20 laps straight.
Exactly.
It's just, it's part of racing. So
he's
trying
keeping his pace.
He's trying. He is gaining still. That's for sure. He is gaining. And who knows? Anything can happen in racing. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to jinx anybody. So I'm trying to be careful with what I say. But in as simple as I can put it, stuff happens.
Yes.
McLuhan has gone by Tyler Markle 4v third position. McLuhan should easily pull away from Tyler Markle. And McLuhan has also gained on Jacob Zala. That gap is now 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's some fresh tires coming into play.
And McLuhan has a win on the season. He'd like to try to up his win total to get higher in the playoff standings. But Jeremiah Stutzman, I've said several weeks when he's when I show him on the playoff standings, he is the highest driver in points without a win. I've been thinking, when is he going to win? He's clearly the best driver who has yet to win to not win.
I mean, he's really stepped up his game. He's fast week in, week out. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll see where this goes, and he's still being chased down by Jacob. That gap is now under 14 seconds with 9 laps to go. But if Stutzman pulls this off, this gives validity to what he tries to do every race. And then he's just going to go more extreme with the pit strategy up until the playoffs. I mean, once he's in, he has like a 3 race lead over the cutoff coming into today's race.
Oh, wow.
And the win, I mean, he would go gnarly on strategy. I'm kind of excited to see what he'd be willing to try.
Yeah, I'm looking at the times, and I just don't think Jacob has it. I mean,
I think he's going to start worrying about McLuhan here.
Yeah.
It's a 1.5 seconds. Tyler Markle right now in 4th. He's probably going to get caught by Miz. Well, I think they're on the same strategy, Markle and Miz. Or no, have they pitted?
I'm not too sure.
No, Miz and Holt have pitted on 93. And Markle has pitted on 72, so is that Holt gets by Miz for the 5th position. And this continues on. Andrew Pratt back here as well. Theron Elam Jr. has fallen off a little bit from that battle. 7 laps to go, and Jeremiah Stutzman was the halfway point in the season, the point he needed. We'll see, with a lot of racing to go, coming around to 12 miles left at Auto Club, 6 laps to go, and a 13-second advantage. Closer to 14, as Zala now, I think it's at this point where Zala's got to hold on for second, because McLuhan is on it. It's down to 8/10, and that is closing. We'll see what McLuhan has. We'll ride on board and see the advantage here.
If I was, Jacob Zala, I'd be leaving this race humble. I mean,
Yeah.
came in, obviously subbing. Didn't know how he was going to do. Won the pole. Led the most laps in this race. I count that as a win for me.
I mean, nobody expects to have a whole outline strategy kind of undermine your entire race. Nobody generally expects that, especially him. He didn't even know what the strategy was. He said pit with the leader in his interview, but he was the leader, so that makes things a little different. And I mean, yeah, for what it's worth, like he said, he was discrediting himself as one of the biggest reasons why he moved into the booth. And you know, he comes down and he performs at Auto Club, no matter the result. What a race! And McClune to the outside. Now this goes on side by side down the front straightaway. 4 laps to go. Trying to side draft. Now it did not go without controversy. I'm probably gonna take another look at the replays before I say anything. But to me, his contact with Greg Holt and Max Service earlier, that was a little, and sliding up the track, almost trying to make it a third contact in the race. But McClune will clear and clean. It was clean by both parties. McClune will clear in the second. 13.3 seconds behind Jeremiah Stutzman with 3 laps to go. I mean, I get it. It was hard racing for the lead, and these cars, they have fenders. You know, they can take a bump. They can take a couple hits. I don't know. I mean, I'll need to take another look at it before I say really anything definitive.
I know Jacob's gonna be heartbroken, but you just gotta think he hasn't been racing for 2-3 weeks, 3 races now.
3 races, and make that 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
Comes back and he performs better than what he's done.
And you know what?
When he did race.
When I asked him earlier about the strategy, he said he didn't know. He didn't really put thought into it. When he does a race again, I'm sure strategy is going to be one of the biggest things on his mind.
Exactly. I mean, he's done a good job saving tires so far.
Yeah. No, he saves tires beautifully. Man, just what a race Jeremiah Stutzman put together. We're usually looking at his strategy. I'm like, that's an oddball strategy, but he doesn't have the pace to beat the leader who, you know, did the extra stop. But with so few pit stops, and with it being relatively easy to save gas and not lose pace at Auto Club, it's just really elevated what Stutzman does every week to a level where he can put, you know, the performance on the track. And it is now the final lap for the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. He rounds turn number 2. Like I said, all season, the best driver in the league, really, to not win a race. And that's, of course, until other people came in, but he's still the highest driver in points without a win. Well, coming off of turn 4, scratch all of that. For the first time this season, Jeremiah Stutzman will win at the Auto Club Speedway. The battle for second will be calm, cool, and collected. It'll be Joshua McClune coming home in the second position, and probably a very disgruntled Jacob Zala in the third position. Greg Holt fourth. Jason Miz fifth. Theron Elam Jr. What a run for him in sixth. Andrew Pratt seventh. Max Service will cross the line in eighth. Tyler Markle, is he out of gas? He's crossing the line in ninth. And Brandon Richardson, he's already gone. I think he was lapped. He will finish in the 10th position. How about Solms, 12th. Gardner, 13th. And, wow. Look at Stutzman burning it down on the front straightaway. Well deserved. And now the next highest driver in the points without a win is Devin Smith. With Devin, when, I think, is more of an appropriate question than if. But for now, it is about Jeremiah Stutzman putting on maybe not the best of shows, but wow, That was, to be honest, it was just big brain. That was crazy. And the caution helps out the most. And I think he's going to run this thing empty. Doing burnouts on this front straightaway. And there he goes. He's going to bring it to a halt as he's blown the engine. He's blown the engine. But we are with third place finisher, Jacob Zollin. Jacob, it's heartbreaking, man.
Depressing. There's nothing I can do. Stutzman, I had a better strategy, and it's just depressing.
I say, for quite a few weeks now, before today's race, your reason for joining me in the booth was, you didn't think you were really this league was kind of your thing, and to be honest, the results kind of prove that up until today. What does that do for you, maybe more mentally, after all that, people telling you that and you telling yourself that, to come into today and dominate the way you did?
It was Auto Club has been my track and always has been my track. It's tough. It changes my mental game now, because now it's like, do I really want to step back into the car? It's like now that I dominated this race, it gives me more confidence. But today it was a great race, and it just sucks that I couldn't finish out the way I wanted to and win it for my teammate, and it sucks. But I mean, all in all, it was a good race.
And one more question, I'll let Landon ask you questions, especially since you're in his car. But have you ever dominated a league race like that? And if not, how does that feel? I know it's not the win, but tonight was all about you.
Nah, that's never happened before. I mean, this is the only league I've been in on iRacing, and with being leagues on PS3 and all that, I've really sucked. So to dominate tonight, it was a little different.
Fair enough. And if Landon's still around, Landon, you want to go
I'm
and
here.
pick up? Yeah, go for it.
Jacob, man, buddy, you did so good. I'm proud of you. Congrats. I mean, I know it's not what you wanted. It's not where, the results don't show what you've had all race, but come on, buddy. I know you're upset, but you won the pole, you led the most laps. You definitely had the best pace out of everybody in this field. And you took it home with the top 3. You got to be humble, and you got to take that as a win, especially not racing three races in a row or 3 weeks, whatever it is, But how do you feel getting back in the car? Is it straining on your body, or do you feel good?
I feel good. It's just it just sucks to not win the race. And I mean, hey, I not racing 3 weeks and barely getting any practice at Auto Club. And to dominate like that, it was really something different. I mean, fair play. I did accidentally wreck service, not wreck, but I did come up on service, and I did come up on Greg Holt. But it was nice. It was nice to see, nice to feel, and it makes me think: do I really want to get back into to a race car again?
Well, we love you on track, and we love you in the booth, buddy. So, whichever you choose, we'll be happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got, what a run. You got the rest of this year to figure out if you're gonna be on the track, at the next race. The rest of this year is one day, so no. But
Yeah.
you got the next week, to mull it over, and do practice maybe, and then make your choice then. Does what Stutzman did to you today, is this gonna have an impact on how you go about races moving forward? What kind of a strategy?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
I need to work on my strategy, and I was listening to the guys in there telling me pit. I pitted on lap, what, I think it was like 80 something,
Yeah,
85,
that was an early
83,
pit.
and because we didn't nobody in general, which team general is superior, but not today. Should have been, but we didn't think anybody would be able to make it, and Stutzman just outplayed everyone, and it was a good job on him.
Well, fair enough. Hey, I mean, congratulations on the dominating race you had today. Once again, I know not what you wanted, but you did make a statement tonight, and I guess at the end of the day, that's what you're gonna have to take from it. So congratulations on a great race, the third place finish, and yeah, best luck to you, whatever you decide to do next.
All right, thank you, man.
Right on, and that was Jacob Zala, driver of the number 8, scored as the 4 tonight, but he was subbing for Landon Cardillo. Next, it'll be second place finisher, driver of the number 18, Josh McClune. Josh, how you doing? Try that again. Josh, your mic's on mute if you're trying to talk. This is the Outlaws booth. You got a copy?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yep. There we go. We got you. All right. So, yeah. How are you doing, man?
Oh, good. Good. I enjoy the holidays once again.
Fair enough. So let me ask you about how was the car today, and then up until the end, what was it that Zala had on you most of the race?
Track position. Qualifying up front definitely helped him for the majority of the race. Qualified 14th. And under the first caution, I decided to come in and take gas. Didn't know if that would help him run somehow. Not really sure that it did, but coming back from 21st after that last caution, went up to second. I'm pretty happy with that.
Fair enough. So with the strategy that Jeremiah pulled, did that ever come across your mind with the extra fuel you took on the caution, or were you just kind of going with the flow?
Well, obviously, when I did that was the plan. As the race was progressing, I wasn't really sure that would pay off. Jeremiah math better than me and saved a little better than me, but after the first fuel run, I didn't really think it would be wise to try to run it out to the end.
Fair enough. Landon, do you have any questions?
I mean, the only thing I gotta say, excuse my language, but where the hell did you come from? Man, I don't think Emerson talked about you all race, and all of a sudden you appear out of nowhere, man. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, somehow I have a funny way of hanging around the back and at the end counts. Doesn't always work that way, but
I mean, I remember my first race at Pocono. You came out of nowhere at the end and won, so.
well, I try to keep my nose clean. Hanging out in the back kind of works out that way. And then if you get lucky enough to work your way up through, you do.
Well, again, congrats on the second place. You really deserve it.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'm gonna just ask, since we don't normally ask you, kind of overall season wise. Now 18 races through, 1 win. Obviously a second place finish here at Auto Club. How would you grade it? And then how are you feeling about the next 8 races and a run in the playoffs? First, the overall season.
I feel pretty good. I think the season for me has been going way better than I honestly expected it to. We got some pretty good quality guys here. I know I've been on the service for about 1.5 years, going on 2 years. But again, a lot of quality guys in here. A lot of quality guys that came up from seasons past on the consoles that I raced with. Pretty happy to be within the top 5 in points. The playoff run.
Yeah, for sure. It has been fun to watch you this season, primarily for the where did he come from reaction when you do get up there. But yeah, do you think you have anything for these boys?
Well, I'm going to give it my all. Like I said, I try for the most part to hang back and keep my nose clean. The closer we get here, I'm going to have to pick up the aggression level a little bit and cross my fingers and hope that it doesn't get me in trouble.
Hey, well, fair enough. Congratulations on the second place finish here today. And yeah, best of luck to you next week in Darlington.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And again, I want to congratulate Jeremiah. That was a great win. Definitely.
Yep, for sure. We're about to talk to him. Right on. And that was driver of the number 18, Josh McClune. And yeah. So I know, at least back on PS3 or PS4. So, wow, PS3. Towards the end, it really got hard to interview Corey unless it was a special occasion. But I think the first iRacing League win for Jeremiah Stutzman might be a special occasion. So Jeremiah, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Man, oh man. I want to start this by saying Max Service told me that to pull off the strategy that you pulled today was going to be very hard and almost very unlikely. Obviously, without the opening caution, how did you feel about this strategy?
I was comfortable with it then from the start. That helped me for a couple laps, but it wouldn't have mattered. I still had 8 to 10 laps left.
Wow, yeah, you were wicked at saving. When on board with you actually into one of the turns before your final pit stop, and I mean just how much clutch or how much of the corner you were clutched in through 3 and 4, but you still kept your speed up for the most part. Was absolutely insane. How was it? Just kind of being in the mindset of saving all race. I know you do this most races, but at a track where you didn't lose too much speed by doing it also, how did that make you feel?
A lot better about the strategy. I was mainly doing it for the tires, and then when I seen the fuel was working out, it just all came together.
Fair enough. And then towards the end, were you pushing at all? What was the true pace of your car?
Probably a 5th to 8th place car.
Well,
I didn't have to push it that hard. Once I knew that Miz and the 3 car couldn't make it, it was pretty simple.
I remember at the beginning of the season, especially when the wins were coming in for a few drivers, and I was always questioning, when are you going to get a win? And I maybe you were joking, maybe you weren't. It sounded pretty steady though that for you it was going to take a lot to get a win. But it sounded like it was almost impossible for you. So breaking through and getting that win, does that make you feel any better about what's to come here for you on iRacing and ultimately the rest of the season?
Of course, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was Chicago, I asked Joseph for some help, and kind of knew he was about the only one I could trust that would honestly help me. And ever since then, it's been a lot better, more consistent. So I really owe this win all to him for helping me.
We could definitely see that you've been more consistent. It has definitely showed. Andy, you have any questions for Jeremiah?
I don't. All I know is congratulations and everything like that. You put on a hell of a race. I'm gonna say the same thing that I asked McClune. Where the hell did you come from? every race I've noticed that you have the speed. Each week, each in and out. Week. It's crazy, man. I give you props.
Just keeping my car in one piece.
Yeah.
And thank you.
One more
that wasn't really a question, but
and just one more. Yeah, looking at the stretch into the playoffs, any momentum builders coming up for you that you can maybe start putting together a run that can take you into the playoffs?
I'm not sure. It's so different each week on who's really doing what, so it's hard to figure that out. I don't think this momentum will last.
Oh man.
Don't
All
be
right.
down on yourself.
You know that that's what I've always admired about Jeremiah Vo is how he is that you are just as good as you are, and then you'll come right out, especially back on PS4, and just be so humble about it. Like I think that's insane to still be humble with all that. And iRacing's different, of course. Everybody kind of got a culture shock with iRacing, the Switch, but it just never fails to me to see you always be humble, even in where you just pulled off an amazing strategy and had the pace to fulfill the strategy. I don't really know how you would respond to that either, to be honest.
I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to race in the league, so makes it all fun.
Fair enough. Once again, congratulations on your first win on the season. Took you half the races to get there, but I was pretty adamant on you getting to victory lane this season, and it happened. So congratulations on the win. Best luck to you next week at Darlington, and yeah, hopefully we're talking to you a few more times this year.
All right, thank you, and good job as always.
Thank you. And that was race winner Jeremiah Stutzman. Just from calling him to all his wins back on NASCAR Heat 4, I was always wondering if I was ever going to call him to a win again. And he finally did it. Was not sure if it was going to happen. With how strategically minded he is. But it paid off. And yeah, just what a race. And then Landon, I mean, what you saw, I mean, we only had one caution, but once again, a race that went green for a lot of time and didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. It was one of, I mean, every race this this season has been crazy. I mean, you'd think, we've gone to these short tracks like USA, Nashville. I mean, Nashville, we know towards the end there's quite a bit of cautions, but there's a pretty good green flag run. Same with USA. There's barely any cautions. I mean, these guys are maybe not so much on the pit entry side, but these guys know how to keep it clean.
Yeah, that is for sure something I think a lot of drivers after Chicago and Kansas and today and a couple other races, I think drivers are going to be having to put pit entry on their practice lists. But other than that, I mean, with a lot of these drivers coming on to iRacing this year, less than half a year on the service, or even less for some of these drivers, to come on here and, not have wreck fests every week and have good races and good quality races, it just continues to be unfathomable to me. I'm just truly, truly amazed with the caliber of drivers that we pulled in from NASCAR Heat 4. That is the furthest thing from a sim.
These guys race better than half the professional leagues that are out here. It's crazy.
For sure, for sure. Speaking about professional, we'll keep it a little professional, and of course, each week we have the final 30 minutes of practice broadcasted on the behalf of a specific charity each week, and this week's charity is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I know a couple of drivers who have directly been benefited from this charity, and I'm not going to go into any details or anything like that, but all I'm saying is this is definitely one of those charities that I think, or foundations that would definitely benefit from the recognition and support, and hopefully you all would be kind enough to at least give them, I guess, that support to continue to do what they do and help people all across the nation. In what's been a rough year, I think this year more than anything, this is a very important foundation That
It is.
should be kept in mind. It has been rough for a lot of people. So if you could just think about it for a moment, and if you're financially able to, consider donating to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And yeah, it is a serious topic.
I mean, all these foundations and charities that we've put up during this league has been, they've all gone through struggles this year, especially people, not being employed, people having, they're losing family members and all that due to this whole COVID situation. It's very rough, and if you're feeling down or anything like that, get some help. I mean, you may not think anybody loves you or anything like that, but there's somebody out there that really cares about you, and turn to them. Even if, you have to search and search to find that person, you'll find them. You just gotta be optimistic.
Absolutely. And well, I guess without further ado, a huge... Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, let's go through the results, shall we? I tend to forget them a lot, huh? Let's go through the results, shall we? Let's see if we can throw them up here. There we go. Oh, it's on the second page. There we go. But it would be 9 cars on the lead lap. Jeremiah Stutzman, of course, with the win. 11.5 seconds back, you'll find Joshua McClune trying to beat out Jacob Zala, who would come home in P3 after the dominating performance he had today. Greg Holt, 4th. Jason Miz, 5th. Theron Elam Jr., 6th. Andrew Pratt, 7th. Max Service, 8th. Tyler Merkel, 9th. Brandon Richardson with a top 10. It'll be Matthew Setzer, 11th. And Doug Solms, 12th. Landon, take us out.
Before we go anywhere, I want to say congrats to Doug, man. He is week in, week out. He's such a trooper. Guy deserves the best, and congrats on the top 12. Going forward, we got in 13th Adam Gardner, 14th Andrew St. Cor. Got Malico in 15th, Adrian Schumacher in 16th, Kevin Thompson 17th, Eric Peck 18th, Devin Smith 19th, and rounding out the top 20, we got Kyle Lingerfeld. Emerson?
Carrying on, just to wrap up here, Garrett Velzy, one of the drivers, caught up in an early incident. Not the first accident. He had his own incident. He'll come home 21st, and then, man, that opening caution that took out quite a few. Seth Berger came in, started parked. Congratulations to the Bergers, by the way. That new puppy. Hopefully that puppy's in a great home, and yeah.
It's gonna have a Seth Berger shirt on,
Yeah, hoping to hear from about that puppy doing some great puppy things in the future.
Another person to cheer on Seth while he's racing.
Yep, make that another viewer. Oh man, and of course James Gilliard finding the back end of Joseph Kazi's car. Not that appetizing. That's gonna hurt Gilliard big time in the playoff bubble battle, especially with Devin Smith being able to continue and gain those spots on Velzy and Lingerfeld. That'll help out a little bit for Smith's cause to gain on that. And then St. Cor, Thompson just finishing up ahead. That Miz, the biggest thing to that playoff bubble battle, is really going to be shaken up. You'll see at the beginning of next year's first broadcast at Darlington. And yeah, Joseph Kasi. I'm not sure what happened. I'm guessing some sort of equipment malfunction. That is crazy. But yeah, now we'll close it out. Yeah, let's try that again. Same song, second verse. A huge congratulations on a huge win. I think a great momentum win for Jeremiah Stutzman. Make sure you tune in. Not only next week, it'll be next year. Wednesday, January 6, 2021. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the Outlaws Sim Series will begin the second half of the season, continuing the run into the playoffs. 8 races remaining, starting next Wednesday evening. We're at the Darlington Raceway, the lady that's too tough to tame. This has been Landon Cardullo and Emerson Arden on the call tonight. And we'll not only see you next week, we'll see you next year. That being said, Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay warm, and hopefully we're seeing you on the far side next Wednesday.